All right, I'm going to assume we're live. So welcome to Worldwide Slot Car Chat on Zoom, number 211. I'm your host, Greg Gow. The gang's all here with Tony and Wayne and John and Jeremy and Dennis and Mike and Don and Garth and John and John and John and John and John and John and Mark and Jim and John and John. Let's talk slot cars. Does anybody have a topic they'd like to start off the show with rather than show and tell? If so, holler, raise your hand, whatever. I should have asked this earlier so I didn't, be awkward like this, but oh well. If not, go ahead and raise your hand for show and tell. I've got something I'm going to show off. So what the hey, I'll do that first because I'm already ready. And then we'll have other people. That's not the right tab. This is the right tab. Waiting to make sure you guys can see it. There we go. Okay, so some of you may have already seen this. This is a 3D printed light pole for whatever. My slot car track is what it's on, obviously. The reason that I think this is special in any way is that it was designed to unplug from the base. So if you're running night races, you plug them all in. But if you don't want to be knocking them over all the time when you're not running night races, you unplug them, you stick the pole and lights somewhere else. It was also designed for the 12-volt LED strips that you cut to whatever length you want. And surprisingly, if you solder wires to the connection points between two areas where you can cut, like you can cut on certain points, right? So I had always thought that you had to start the power on one end of whatever strip you're using, but it's a complete circuit wherever you cut it and wherever you put power to it. So you can put power right to the center of this strip of 6 LEDs, and then the wire goes down the pole. And I've used phono, male and female, screw terminal, so no soldering here. The only soldering you got to do, unfortunately, is right there on the LED strip. A little bit fiddly. If you're building one, maybe use flexible wire. The wire I had on hand was old speaker wire, so it's a little bit fiddly. But just a quick overview of how it goes together in case you want to make your own. Solder to the LEDs, stick the wire down the pole, trim the wire, strip the wire, screw the wire to one terminal, glue your pole and your LEDs into the cover, and then put on your cap that goes over the phono plug and put down the little bit of plastic that holds them all together. Some glue couldn't hurt. And then this is the base. The other side of that phono plug goes up through the bottom of the base. You put your wires in there, let your wires go under that channel or straight down through your table if you want. And then this little cap helps hold the phono jack in place and helps make sure your wires go down the channel, like so. And then you're done. That's pretty much it.
Have you crashed into one of those yet, Greg?
I have not. No, my table is still messy. I'm still in the process of cleaning up my garage and table for the race at my house this coming Monday. Which
like does it throw a lot of light? Because there's quite a few LEDs there.
That it sends a good portion of light, yeah. And
I use those.
You look like you're holding dead mice. What?
Really? I use those.
Okay.
If I want to test the motor, I've got one here I can solder on, or one here I can use with crocodile clips. And if you've got one of these power supplies, like Tony showed us,
no, that's not a phono plug. That's a DC barrel plug.
Oh, it is a DC barrel, but it's from the same range. It's got the screw terminals in the back.
Yeah. I mean, you can get all kinds of plugs that have the screw terminals. Those are super nifty.
Those are super nifty. Yeah.
You could do this. You could do the same thing with DC barrel plugs, but the holes and links of things would be different. So if you're going to print and build the things that I was just showing, you've got to use the phono versions, not the DC barrel plug versions.
I'm a little bit surprised you didn't find a magnetic connector. Is there such a thing? Do you think that so the light can get knocked over?
Yeah, the hard part is soldering to the magnets, or you could use some kind of conductive tape or adhesive or something. But basically, I've seen lots of things use to, one set of magnets for positive and the other set of magnets for negative, and then when they're touching, the power flows between them. That works too.
Yeah, it would have been nice, I think, for the sake of your pole, to be able to crash into it and not snap it. I'm just nervous that might the layer lines just clean through.
Oh no, it's not. The base is printed at 100% infill, so it's quite a few grams. I haven't measured it, but it's several grams. So the base holds it upright, but it will just fall over if a car crashes into it. It's not
Ah,
going to.
yeah.
Yeah, the light pole
Also,
itself
you
is-
probably want to strategically place those. You don't want those at the end of a straight, right in the middle, where
Yeah, and in my case,
put it on the
I
inside of the
have-
corner, not on the outside.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, in my case, on my track, I have power leads in all kinds of random places because I installed the power leads for future lighting several years ago when I did the wiring for my track. So all the lane changers have power going directly to them, and I put little pigtails of wire on for the future lighting that I'm finally getting around to doing. I think I heard somebody ask, am I selling them? That was not my original intent. I put all the files and instructions on my printables page if you want to go download them and do it yourself. But somebody said, hey, I'll give you this much for them. And I'm like, yeah, okay, that's reasonable. So I'll sell a kit to build one with the strip of LEDs, the phono plugs, a length of wire of the correct length, and all the printed parts for $10 each. And if you want me to put it together for you, that's $15 each. But I did not create them with the intent to market and sell them as a product. I encourage people to go download them and print them and try them out. Send me feedback on things that you think could be improved. It went through several iterations while I was printing and building them, of course, as things normally do. I didn't hear any other questions. Does anybody else have any other questions? Moving on. Anybody else got anything they want to show and tell? I don't see any hands up. So either everybody was completely entranced by me or they were just procrastinating. Go ahead, Jim.
I had planned a show and tell today, and for some reason I thought today was a 4:00 meeting instead of 11. And so my show and tell is just a little bit premature. So I'll check back with you later. It may come in before the end of the show.
Okay.
I love the real-time tracking on UPS.
Hopefully it'll be at your door before we're done with the show, right?
It says between 11 and 2, so it should be here maybe.
All right. Good luck.
But I can see where the truck is.
Oh, it's there.
Yeah, apparently the truck is here. Okay, Jim's done. Go ahead, Jeremy.
All right. So normally at my racing, I use this 9-volt battery with a wire. It's pretty simple, and to clean my tires off, just some screws. But then I got the other, maybe a month or two ago when I was building my rolling roads, Brian Gipp said to me, why don't you make that a tire cleaner? I was like, no, I already got an idea for that. So I started working on this tire cleaner, same kind of principle. But what I wanted to do differently is that if you probably won't be able to see it on the back here is a USB connector because I wanted it to be rechargeable. So I put cell packs in there. And then if I plug it in here, maybe, I don't know if you'll be able to see, but inside there's a light there. Oh, there it is. It lets you know when it's charging. So it runs at 8 volts. Put your car on it. Obviously, it's pretty simple. And then it spins your tires, clean your tires off, and away you go. With the battery pack, I mean, the car will run for like 6 hours on its own until it runs out of battery. So it lasts a long time. And it's still in the first iteration, but I'll probably have more revisions to it. My thought was to have it like holes so I could like mount it and then secure it with screws. But then I was like, who's gonna do that? That's stupid. But the main thing was that I wanted it to fit in my pit box without, having to carry something separate. So that's why I'm trying to keep it as small as I can. That's what I'm working on.
Cool.
Jeremy, what'd you use for the pad material there?
EVA foam. This is a Greg Gaub idea. It's a self-sticking EVA foam. Instead of having to glue it on, you buy the self-stick kind, and then it's no slip.
He meant for the
For
tire
the cleaning portion of the tire, to clean the tire.
The tire cleaning portions are from Velcro. I bought like a 3-yard of Velcro at the sewing store in the right, and then cut it and then secured it underneath. Made sure it's so I wanted to also, that was another thing I like to do, is make sure that all the parts that I use on my stuff, if something breaks, I can just send another one to a guy so he doesn't have to buy a whole new kit. Because that's one of the things I hate, is not being able to work on your own stuff. So the Velcro, if you decide you want new Velcro, you just go through underneath, re-stick it, tack it down. Same thing with the electronics, and then the cell packs, the battery packs in there are the same thing you get like out of a cordless drill, where it has, you know, 8 of the little battery cell packs. This is just 2 of those battery cell packs to get you to 8 volts. So
Jerry, what
Everything's-
price you got on that?
well, I haven't even started yet, Tony. You are my favorite customer. I got to be honest, though, Tony. When I
Hey,
get it
Jerry,
ready to go, I'll let you know.
Okay.
Jeremy, I
remember-
have
Yeah, Jim.
a suggestion for you.
Yeah.
Make the slot about twice as wide in the back and taper the slot so it makes it very easy to put the car on it.
So it's like a triangle from the back going to the forward.
Yes.
So you
Yeah.
can put it on fast and then
if
go.
you're- Yeah, so if you're using it
Okay.
to do fast green flag pit stops, you
Yeah.
just slap it on there. It makes it a lot easier to get the car in the slot to power it.
That's a good idea. You know, I thought about that, but I wasn't sure. But yeah, I'll do that. That's a good idea.
And the
And
other
have
thing,
it taper.
Jeremy, always remember Tony wants 2 of everything.
2 of everything. Gotcha.
Yep.
You want one big ass box for Tony.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks, Jeremy. Looking forward to that. Mr. Weber, go ahead.
Last week.
I'm sorry, John. Your microphone is not picking you up very well. Do you have any fans or other loud things in your room that might be? Yeah, turn that kind of stuff off while you're talking, because your microphone is trying to cut that sound out, and it's cutting out your voice too.
Nothing like an automatic level.
Yeah, that's a little bit better.
Good. This is the Mora schedule on 30 seconds. Funny thing is, I'm not sure anyway. I knew these effects were on this when I got it. But it's a great price. Somebody took a. Somebody took a.
You're still cutting out. I couldn't understand most of that, John. I don't know what's going on with your microphone, but
Okay. I'll defer to later. Let somebody else take over. Okay.
okay. Hopefully you can get that figured out. Dewan, you got your hand up. Go ahead.
Okay. Can you hear me? I know I'm kind of in the shadow here.
Oh yeah, you're coming in loud and clear.
Okay, I'm out here in the backyard. I know that last week and probably everyone's been UK slot car fested out, but I didn't get a chance to show anything that occurred because I was so much in travel. I think I had only a half a day outside of traveling from the UK to LA to Chicago, and now I'm back in Vegas, and I'm just now sitting down, getting in yesterday, and opening up the stuff that I got from the UK Slot Car Fest. So it's almost an unboxing per se. So I'll just show you some of the stuff that I got. Now, you guys probably know by now, I am not a racer. I've actually never been to a racetrack in my entire life. I mean, a real live one-to-one racetrack in my life. I'm just a, novelty kind of guy. And so that's what I kind of got, was some unique things and novelty things that I couldn't find, that I knew was going to be there and be from a unique standpoint. So hopefully I can show these. This is gosh darn it, I think this is a
motorcycle in general terms.
I think he's looking for the brand or something.
Yeah,
It's got a lot of cylinders. Let's put it that way.
Anyway, it's a motorcycle from a kit from one of the Aurora. I think it's Aurora. It was an Aurora kit.
Yeah, I don't think it's quite a Thunder Cycle, but I think it's kind of similar to what they had as a Thunder Cycle.
Yeah, so this is I got a pair of these because I have to do everything in. Ideally, I like to do everything in fours, but I'll start off with a pair for right now. That's all they had at the time. So I got these from one vendor. Set these aside.
Have you run any of
And
those? No.
what was that?
You haven't?
Nope, nope. I'm just actually breaking open the box,
Ah,
literally as we speak. Okay, I just took that out, just unwrapped it while I was sitting here. Um, and this is another set. I got this one from Roger Barker. But this is another motorcycle.
anyone else familiar with those? Because I had those.
Skeletric.
Yeah, they're the
I heard you
sidecars, right?
Yeah, they're
Yes.
motorcycle sidecar units, and they have a solid rear axle and a single front wheel, and they're really, really tippy.
Yeah, that's what I understand. And he gave me two models. He said there was two versions of them. Two of them have with the originals, and two of them are the predecessors. This one right here doesn't have the head, but he gave me some extra heads to put on them, so I can get them all fixed up as I get done. But now I have four of these, and they're all different colors, etc. Because I'm going to be doing essentially I'm going to be doing IROC racing. Now the difference between the two of them are going to be two of them have magnets and two of them do not have magnets. So the first versions did not have magnets, the second ones do, and they're supposed to perform a little bit better with the magnets. So we'll see how that works. And then there was a couple others that I picked up. These are again just vintage classic things that I just like to have floating around a track. I don't know if you can see. It's through the
Caterham sevens, are they?
I'm sorry, what was the question?
Are they Caterham?
Yeah, loaded.
Yeah, they look like they're Super Sevens. Yeah.
Super Sevens, okay? I don't know.
Is it written on the box? No.
Yeah, this one says it's in complete mint condition, never been opened. This one's been opened, but it's still in complete like new condition. But one of them is in mint condition.
There should be a label on the back of the box somewhere that says what the vehicle is.
Yeah,
Or the
probably.
model.
No, not this case.
I guess
No,
not.
just mint box condition. This one just says like new. No, both of them. These are both mint box. I'm sorry. Okay, yeah. So that's what these are. So they're supposed to never been opened. So that's those.
I've never seen those. So
But you know, again, I was out for the unique stuff, and I have not even opened this box.
that's the box I saw. I didn't
Yeah.
realize you got that home with the white box. I thought you'd unpacked that into your suitcase.
I packed the entire box in my suitcase.
Got you.
Oh boy, I have something I shouldn't be. Make sure that that's not on camera. Hint, Wayne. Okay. And again, I'm into trying to create the equivalent of IROC type races for my guests that I'm planning on entertaining. So I have two Skeletric Mustangs. I need to have a complete set of four so that I can have all four running at the same time. So these are the ones that I picked up. Pretty bargain priced, I thought, for Skeletric since they've been going up in price. So this is a white Mustang number 47 and a black Mustang number 47, or black and gold, rather. So those are some acquisitions. And then I picked up my third one of these, which is the BBL Z28 Camaro, for obvious reasons. That's my go-to car. And then I had three Skeletric 911 Porsches, but I didn't have this livery. So this makes my fourth one to complete a four-set package to be able to, I have to
Yeah.
fourth package to fourth car so that we can have our little, again, IROC racing. And the next thing I have here, which I don't know exactly what it is yet. I know what I bought. I don't know what's inside the package here, though. Sorry to take up all this extra time.
No, but you realize, Dewan, that all the cars you brought over from the UK, you're going to have to drive on the wrong side of the track. You know that.
I tell you, that is so intimidating. Wayne can tell you, I get freaked out driving in a car on the right hand side of the road because I just don't understand what's going on at all the different turns and stops that they get to and making the right or left.
Well, the weirdest thing is getting in the front of a car on the passenger side and going, "Where's the steering wheel?"
That's what it is. I always go over to the passengers, what I consider the passenger side. So, oh, you want to drive? I said, oh, hell no.
That's right. That's right. He did. Sunday morning.
No way in the world would I want to drive. Okay. So, this is what I think it is. Still wrapped even more. Gosh, well, this is a good thing that they wrapped it up so much. But hopefully, when I open it up, it won't be in pieces.
So did the vendors pre-wrap those for you, Dewan?
Yeah, they made special exceptions to wrap it up, knowing I was traveling.
Well, that's really thoughtful. Oh, very cool.
That's the slot car
cool.
track, is it?
Yes, it is. Let me see what it looks like. If it's looks like my fence got a little bent. I'll work on that. I don't want to break it off, but yeah. And I'm sure you guys are aware that I am heavy into the creation of dioramas of basically my life and things like that. So a diorama of a slot car track on my diorama. I mean, well, a model of a slot car track on my diorama is 100% appropriate. So that's why I got this, and completely done, painted up, and assembled. So that was again one of my big drawbacks is my lack of.
Instead of Waldo, I'll try and get you an Adam West and a Burt Ward. How about that?
There we go. And actually, quite honestly, that was part of my hunt. Trying to find vendors that they would have been great to find actually that in place, but I wanted to find vendors that potentially could produce that. That's that. And I do have another box here, and it's filled with figurines, and I won't bore you with all those, but I bought probably about 3 dozen figurines already painted and assembled and things like that. So, and I'll give out my props to the person that I bought this from, and that was Tyra. What's Tyra's last name? Gosh darn it, King, I believe. I believe it's Tyra King. She's out of the UK, and she does a lot of the painting. So I believe this is a magnetic racing item. No. This is not. This is okay. It's not magnetic racing. It's IMSP or something like that. They make this. Have this model. She actually put it together and painted it all up and sold it as a completed model.
All her store was painted stuff, wasn't it? There was nothing on there that was she's entirely. That's what she does, decorating.
He gets other vendors blank figurines and as well as model kits and things of that nature, and puts it all together and paints it up and makes it really nice. Like I said, I won't bore you.
Does she actually manufacture figurines, or she just finishes them?
She finishes them. That's what she does. So she's a finisher, and her prices were very, very reasonable from my perspective, especially with my lack of painting skills. Having that done was just worthwhile. So,
what did she get for them?
How much? You said how much were they? They were
how much were they?
They were I think they were $15 singles painted. But $12 in a certain quantity, and when the bulk that I got a better rate. So I can't even remember what my rate was, but it was and I said dollars, but it was pounds.
Oh.
And I got to tell you this funny story, boy, oh boy. She had a model sitting on her table there, and it was a model of I think it was a Hooters model or something like that, and it was nice. No, it was a model of the podium, and it had figurines of Lewis Hamilton and several other drivers and everything on the podium. And it was a nice little, real nice laid out display and everything. And she picks it up and she says, "This is." And I'm gonna say I'm probably gonna be off on the price, but she said this is 130 pounds, right? And my best friend that was with me, she went and picked this thing up and said, "This isn't 130 pounds."
You thought it was weight.
Yes. So she
That
just
Gives new meaning to the word pound foolish.
exactly. So she freaked out and said, "This is not 130 pounds." Boy, oh boy. Okay, so that's all I have, folks.
Yeah, and we dined out on that one, didn't we?
Yes, we did.
She also does some figures in that you wouldn't expect, does she not? I mean, what did you see around the back and down the side and all that? You saw couples doing naughty things and all sorts, didn't you?
We don't want to talk about all that. This is supposed to be a PG rated.
So,
Yeah,
so hold on. So that gives matte finish a whole new meaning.
and the song by Dexys Midnight Runners.
That's in this box. Some of that's in this box. I could not resist. Okay.
So Dewan, you're going to put a red light district on your track. That's awesome.
And that's why I won't just generically open up the box and just pull something out blankly. Okay.
Yeah, interesting choice of words. I won't touch that.
Oh boy.
That's so cool, man, that you can. I just think it's wonderful that somebody does that in scale. That's great.
Maybe they overdid the scale in certain areas.
I was gonna say, yeah, and I don't know if you want to pull out the calipers to actually check on scale accuracy. That's true.
All right.
That's awesome. That's good. No, I kind of saw her table in a couple of the videos that were posted, and I wasn't quite sure if she had actually manufactured those figures or just did, the happy endings.
I wish they had stopped you at customs on the way in from the airport and had to explain to the people what you're doing with these little
Yeah, as they take you away in cuffs, you're screaming, "I'm a hobbyist!"
Yeah.
Okay, folks.
That's awesome. No, that's so cool, though. I mean, now the next thing, I guess, if anyone starts animating this stuff, we're in real trouble.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's too funny. So, have you already picked out spots on your track for that stuff, Dewan?
That's for the future. I haven't. This wasn't even a concept until I went over there. Yeah.
Very cool. Very cool. Now, John, I see your hands back up. Is your mic a little better now?
You tell me.
Yeah, that is better.
Okay. Yeah. Somehow we can turn down the path.
Probably get it close to the mic as you can.
Amazon.com, John. Amazon.com. Microphone.
It's a lot of money for this computer to have a camera and microphone in it. By golly, I'm here. Okay. Get off my one. Here's the
Hang on, John. I can't hear you. It's cutting out.
okay.
Yeah, it's like it's picking up your camera's microphone instead, unless you have another microphone.
No other
Yeah, I don't know what's going on. It sounds like you're half a mile away from the microphone.
Okay. I'll bail again.
It might be set to spouse.
No.
Be hearing something else.
If only we had subtitles.
Yeah. Yeah. Now that's we could hear you for a little while, and to Jeremy's point, then it just cut out as you started talking.
Worse than usual.
Yeah.
So we could just fine until you started talking. That makes a lot of sense.
Like I said, it's set to spouse. Yeah, there you go. Ah, darn. Okay, because did you do some work to the model, John, or is that how it came? Yeah, now you're muted. Actually, sorry, you're muted.
No, this is how it runs. Except I have started disassembling it. I put this in the other it came also was a Monogram Ferrari 270, reportedly a 275B. But I look them over, look at the way the decals are applied, a little bit of paint, glue on them. I think back models were new, how old I was putting a kid wants to do things his own way, and maybe not get help. So glue gets slathered everywhere and get kind of funny decal placements and things like that. But that's kind of part of the charm. But as far as I'm concerned, this is a complete model, and except for a little bit of
Yeah. If you want a replacement glass for that, John, I've already made a mold and I've cast a few.
oh, cool. Yeah, absolutely. That'd be great. Thank you, John. Then also during the trip, local Dollar Tree store. So models that they have, $5, 1/24 scale. $5.
Tomorrow,
Friction. It's a friction coil.
pull back and go model.
Oh, okay, so it does it have an? Oh, it has no interior. No interior.
You get a complete model, but I took it apart because all I want to use is the body.
It doesn't need an interior. It's got blacked out windows.
Right. So, like this, so Corvette C7, 1/24 scale C7 Corvette. Pretty nice. The body is nice. The rest of it is pretty much worthless and useless. So, my purposes, those kind of interesting. They have tons of them. Arrow body. I'm going to do probably Garage 56 under that or something like that. Found a decal sheet for exactly doing that, but it's like $25 for one sheet. So probably going to pass on that. That's all I have. Thank you.
Very cool. Like $5. You can't beat that.
No, I think they'll be nice ones, well made. They need a little bit of work. Buy them paint decals.
That's very cool. Very cool. Oh, I see. Don has something. What's up, Don?
Well, a little update on my Monogram toy that I've been working on. I got some wheels that are very close to what there came on it. Got it all put together and had to put some new tires on those old rims, but it runs around the track fairly decently.
Nice.
But it's been I probably got this body a year ago. And it's taken me that long to find the rest of the parts to get it closer to being complete. But that's part of the fun, is locating all the parts. That's all I got. Just wanted to show that I have it on the track.
That's nice. It looked like it was running quite nicely.
Occasionally it just ups and quits. And I'm not really sure what's causing it except just contact with the braid and the track. Because you touch it, it takes off. It doesn't seem to be anything else. So maybe I just need to clean off some spots on my rails.
Does it still have its original braid, or have you put softer braid in it?
No, this braid is very stiff.
That old stuff that we used to use on those cars was really bad for that. So take it out and put some more modern braid in, and probably be quite nice.
Yep, I can do that. It gives me something else to work on. I've been kind of lacking here lately due to yard mowing and that sort of stuff, but that time of the year. That's all I have.
Cool. Well, at least you got it going. That's awesome. All right. So I guess anyone else have anything for show and tell? Anybody? No?
Well, I'm busy working here while we're talking, so I don't know if anybody wants to see what's going on.
Absolutely. For
Samsung
sure.
Classics. We've got racing going on tomorrow. Just let me hook up the other camera and I'll show you.
Was always interested in a bastard work.
Yeah, I'm just glad you're willing to show us how the sausage is made. That's really kind of cool.
Oh no, this is just I'm working on some 1/24 scale stuff for racing, so I'm busy with vacuum form bodies. I painted these up quickly yesterday. There's 2 of them lying here. And then I have this little machine that I use to mount the bodies. You put the chassis on here. There are some little pins that hang on a minute. There we go. Little pin like this that goes through the hole in these adjustable blocks on the side of it. You put the chassis in and tape it down. I have some magnets to hold it roughly in position, then you tape it down. Then you push these little pins in until they locate in the pin tubes that are on the car. And then once you've got everything in position, you pop the body on top, make sure that it's nicely positioned, that it's exactly where you need it. You can look at it from underneath, you can check it at the back, and once everything's right, you just push those little pins in and it makes a little dent in the side of the body, right where the pinhole is. Then it's a matter of reinforcing the bodywork. So what I do when I paint the bodies is I cut this piece out at the back of the molding out the back there, and I put it down and I put some double-sided tape. It's this VHB tape. I put some double-sided tape on it and cut myself some 1/4-inch strips of material. So there's the remains of a piece out of the back of the car, and then I would just put some pieces of tape along that, cut it into these 1/4-inch wide strips, and then I'd use those to mount in the back of the car around the rear wheel arch. There you can see it quite nicely like that, and it stretches right up into the top of the fin at the back.
So you reinforce it?
Yeah, right above
Okay.
the rear pinhole is the first one, and then one at the back. And the one at the back just stiffens up the back corner so that if you hit something, like if you drift hard and hit a barrier, that it doesn't suck that in underneath the tire. And that reinforces the rear pinhole. And then at the front, I use a little bit of this parachute tape. It's parachute repair tape or tent repair tape or something like that. It's a very thin woven nylon self-adhesive tape, also cut into 1/4-inch wide strip and then just folded around the body. And I use that at the front because the front ones are the ones that tear the most. Any kind of frontal impact while you're driving, it quite comes off in front of you, or you hit something and then it crumples the front of the body, and it really does a number on those front mounting holes.
Well, I imagine also, I was going to say, Dennis, even if you deslot, someone trying to put you back in the slot could also do some damage to the body.
Oh, yeah, you could run into a turn marshal's hand. Yeah, that happens sometimes. So, yeah, that's what I'm busy doing now. Next thing up is to, I still got to cut the wheel arches on this one. I know that the wheel arches have to be 18 millimeters. The center of the wheel arch is 18 millimeters behind the rear of the rear pinhole. And then I have this little circle cutter. So I'll put it down, support it with I just have a little piece of hardboard here, which I'll stick over the edge of the bench and pop that onto the end of it, and then mark it up and around to go. And it cuts it nice and clean. And then you just trim up the rear of it, make sure there's no sharp edges and so on, and then pretty much done. Then after that, it's just front wheels, which are just stickers that go on the outside of the body, and numbers and a couple of lines here and there, body lines and things like that. And then cars are ready to go.
And what car is that, Dennis?
Yeah, I was going to say, is that a brushless motor in the chassis? I can't really see.
No.
Oh, it isn't. Okay,
Nope.
Sorry.
Now, this is a Mid-America 605 Eagle for the class that we run tomorrow night. Friday night will be brushless motors in very similar chassis. And they use, instead of using these LMP style bodies, the brushless cars, we run them with saloon bodies or DTM bodies, touring car bodies.
And what car is that body shell a replica of?
That body shell is
Toyota.
ostensibly a replica of a Toyota TS01.
Right, yeah.
Almost, but not completely unlike a Toyota TS01.
Oh, we just have to take Dennis's word for that.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah.
I mean, you could, if you went and looked at an original TS01 here and there, you might see one or two little pieces of slightly familiar features here and there, but yeah, they none of these bodies are particularly scale. But this particular one works very well, to the point that this class has become effectively a one-body class. Nobody uses anything else.
Is that a Mazzetti chassis, Dennis?
That's a Mazzetti chassis.
Yeah.
It's remarkable how much that happens. I mean, a steel chassis with a piece of Lexan over at the top, even that has handling characteristics that people can recognize. And it was the same with radio control, was it not? I mean, we had different bodies over time, but there was always a de rigueur body at any given time.
Yeah, that's how it goes. Yeah, this is a Mazzetti chassis, one of the kind of latest versions. There are two different side pans. The pieces on the side here. This piece is on the outside is separate to the center section. And there's one with a little bit more weight in these areas here, which I have on my brushless car, but I don't really use on this car. The only modification that I make to these is these two little pieces of wire at the back here, which prevent the back of the pan from sinking down below the back of the chassis, where the body will add the downforce. And that makes the car a little bit more stable and it means you can run your tires nice and low. We have a ground clear.
Are those soldered on there, Dennis?
Yeah.
Okay, that's a good idea. I think I will use that.
Yes, yeah, they're soldered on the pan side and loose on the center section.
Yeah, yeah.
And then, of course, the pin tubes, these they're loose, so they have some flop in them, so that the body is not stiffly held to the chassis. So that's the story from here.
Very nice.
Okay, that's me for now.
Any other questions for Dennis?
Ah, he is back.
Hearing none. I don't see anybody else's electronic hand up. Anybody else want to do show and tell before we move on? Dennis happily provided some additional show and tell for us. I guess we're moving on to. Oh, you want to try again, John?
No, just have a question. Here's your.
Yeah.
Seems to me those brushless motors be really neat.
Oh, you're still muted, Dennis.
Cannot hear him at all.
I think he was asking if they're small enough for a Formula One.
Yeah, but you not use brushless.
Brushless motors are tiny. The outside diameter of the bell is 14.3 millimeters, and the motor's length is about 10 millimeters. So yes, they're tiny. I've actually seen a guy put one of those motors in a sidewinder in a 1/32 scale, a 1/32 scale Eurosport Formula One, which does have a little bit more space at the back, but with a little bit of work, you could probably do that quite happily in anything else too.
You also have to find space for the ESC.
Yes, that's the bigger problem with the Formula One, is finding space for the controller.
I'm sure somebody will do it at some point. All right, moving on. Let's do some Club Corner. Got past, present, or future racing you want to talk about? If you're subscribed to Russ Paver's slot car channel, he posts pretty much start to finish videos of EMSA Analog Club racing. So you got plenty of racing to watch if you want to do that. We raced at Eric's track last Monday, which was 4-lane Electric Sport with our NSR F22s, and he's got a couple of R1 turns on his track. So it was kind of a nice, I mean, not nice, but it was a preview of things to come on my track. And yeah, he did a staggered start, which we normally don't do. We normally have them all in a row, but he decided to have 1 and 3. I think he did, yeah, 1 and 3 back a little bit, and then 2 and 4 were up at the normal starting line, so that when the power came on and everybody hit their controllers, it wasn't side-by-side cars into an R1 turn, which is basically turn 1 is R1, R2. And that really actually helped quite a bit. So I think for my track, I'm going to do the same thing and have them start slightly off from one another, just to help reduce that crashing tendency. But yeah, the F22 cars are challenging on a tight track like Electric Sport. So I'll leave it at that. I was not last. That's good enough for me. All right, Mike, you want to talk about your racing?
Oh, sure. I didn't race on digital on Monday, but we raced stock cars last night, which are similar chassis to what Dennis just showed in the same motor, but in a stock car body, and usually Dodge Charger or Mercury Montego are the two that go on there. And I pulled a amazing qualifying out of my hat and ended up second in qualifying. Didn't transfer to the race, however, because everybody else got faster and the track got slippery and my car didn't like it much. So I had a couple of offs and I ended up finishing second in. Well, we had a different format because we had 8 guys, so we raced the middle 4 lanes, and we did 2 shortened 1.25 minute stint 4-lane runs, and the best 2 went to the A main of each one of those. And I got punted off by Shiggy, who shouldn't have dived down where he did, and ended up, instead of him going off, I did. And it cost me the race because nobody else fell off the entire race. And the only off that I had was mine. So I ended up finishing 3rd, coming like a steam train after the guy in 2nd. And he just barely made it. And then I finished 2nd in the B main for over the night. And that was pretty good. It's enough to send me home with more money than I came with. So the way they work that is that the guy who runs the track charges $10 for the race, but you're almost guaranteed to get that $10 back at the end of the night, plus some. He basically pays the guys to play there, and it works out pretty good for me. So far, the last 2 weeks, 2 times that I've been there, I've made $20, so it's enough to pay for tires for the next time, and it's good. I have to say though that since I got changed from the Pro Slot motor to the Eagle motor, my driving has gotten a lot better. The Pro Slot has so much torque that it's really hard to control, and the Eagle motor is much easier that way. So it coasts a little better and runs a little better overall. So anyway, I had a fairly decent night. I'll take my animosity towards Shiggy out on the track some other time and go on from there. But I had a good time anyway, regardless. So
payback is coming
that's
for
all.
Shiggy.
Yeah, I'm coming for you, man. And the thing is, he didn't have to do it because he was faster than I was in the straight, because my tires were lower. And of course, in the stock cars, they're gearing limited. So, you know, if you've got a larger tire, you're faster on the straight. And he had newer tires than I did. So he could have gone right by me on the straight. Instead, he dove in underneath me and then accelerated out and knocked me off. But anyway, it's racing, as they say. I did not get out and punch him.
I think he just got Shiggy with it.
Yeah. Bump.
What did you say, Jim?
Is what Mike said. You could wait for him after the race and punch him, but it cost you $75,000.
All right. Anybody else got any racing they want to talk about? Guess not. And Jim, has your shipment arrived yet? Guess not.
No, it's still about 2 miles away.
All right, floor is open. Any news anybody want to talk about? Upcoming releases or anything? Yeah, guess we're gonna just chit chat now. How's the weather? It's been raining over here.
Cold over here.
It is a little cool right now. Yeah, sun went behind the clouds.
Yep, it did.
Good chat, guys. I'm gonna end the stream.
All right, I've got something.
Okay.
I've been trying to get this John Kitt Grand Prix International car ready to go, and I took off this morning and took it to the mailbox, and I forgot the hubcaps, John. So what I'll end up having to do is I'll mail these to you.
No. I made them. I've got some. I'll put them in for you. Don't worry about it. Don't sweat it.
No, well, but I don't want to use I want them to look like baby moons. I don't want to use the other side.
Let's see what you got there. Let's see what you made your own.
No. I just turned them around. I just want to use the baby moon side. I want to make it look like a Lakester.
Oh, I can do that for you. Don't worry. I can do that for you.
I don't want to be accused of any foul play. Not that there isn't any, but
he wants the $1 million ones.
I'll accuse you now, Courtney.
No,
Courtney wants his used. Courtney wants
Courtney,
his
say-
used because he shaved off like 0.3 of 1 ounce for each one. So
Or he waited them to bring.
Listen, Courtney, you're more than welcome to ship them, but to save yourself the shipping costs, let me know what needs to be done. I'll take care of it for you.
Yeah, or you can just leave them plain and just know that I'll be
Yeah,
in
leave them
trouble.
plain. Yeah, that's fine. That's fine.
Okay. Well, it's on its way. It's en route. It's not a very good model. It doesn't seem to be very fast, but it was fun.
Well, yeah, they're not meant to be fast cars. That's the whole idea.
Well, mission accomplished.
Well, as soon as the dog sled powered postie delivers it, I will let you know.
Yes, I can't wait.
Awesome. Thanks
You
so
get
much.
it to your door in a hockey stick, John?
No. It's usually with we don't use St. Bernards. We use Malamutes with the packages here.
Well, that's if they decide they want to go to your door.
Oh yeah, no.
Knowing mail.
You leave them a little treat, and they come right to the door. It's awesome. Actually, I've met dogs with more sense than some of these people who deliver postage stuff. So.
Yes.
Cool.
Has anybody reviewed NSR Corvette? I don't know if we've talked about that on the chat, have we?
It's been.
I have one. Let me go get it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give you guys an update because I just unwrapped everything. And
just be sure it's PG, please.
the wind is getting fierce out here, so I'm gonna go through it kind of quickly. But this is kind of the array, and you can see with my one of the other reasons why I went there, because they have some unique things that was what I was looking for.
The one I'm seeing a trend of those people.
Exactly. I thought you might notice.
They're really well painted. Very
Yeah.
nice job. Nice work.
Yeah. So.
Wow.
A little
Foxy Brown.
Yeah.
Right there.
No, that's just a car wash worker. They're washing the car. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Car wash. Oh.
And a little extra.
Yeah,
it's the happy endings car wash. That's what I said. Yeah.
You see a little. I don't know if you can see.
Oh, right. Okay, that's the.
I see a bikini clad lady.
There you go. From R&T Incorporated. Rub and tug.
All right.
Things like that. Well, and more, but I won't show you the rest.
Oh, yeah. One of the guys I used to race with at his track, he had a strip club.
Yeah, that's exactly what this is. You know what? I would kind of consider this a little more of a swingers club than a strip club.
I don't know which is
all
worse.
I'm going to say is I can't imagine the kind of sausage vendors you have. I mean, oh my gosh.
Okay, so that's give you an update on that. So sorry.
Has Dewan invited any of us over to his place to race? Because
yeah, what's up with that?
I think
I was
what's going on over there.
I'm about 1 week away from getting my electrical engineering analysis completed to submit to the county, and then I'll be starting construction literally 1 week or 2 weeks after that. So I'm hoping to really make it, and I'm gonna videotape the whole kind of build up process. And
yeah, you should put that on your channel, Dewan.
Yeah, that's the intention. I'm looking at Hughes. Is it Hughes Garage? Yeah, Shane. Yeah, and how he's transforming his old layout to a new room and everything, and because I have a lot of things, and I'm picking up some concepts from him that I might want to consider because it's a custom. I basically made the building around how I wanted my slot car track to be, literally. So
all that says is you have your priorities straight. What's up with that?
Well, I did the same thing with when I had to buy a swimming pool that came with a I'm doing the same thing with my, I have to have a slot car hobby room that comes with a garage. Let's put it that way.
Yeah. Oh, Dennis got his Corvette.
Oh, there we go.
Oh yeah, wow.
All right.
These look familiar.
Yeah, the colors are probably familiar, right?
Yeah, it's that little known NSR livery that
It's
it's a tribute livery.
a little known NSR livery. The car itself is, mechanically is identical to any of the latest stuff. It doesn't have a drop arm anymore. Like the AMG didn't have a drop arm, and the McLaren, I don't think it does. Don't recall. Other than that, all I've done so far, apart from gluing and truing the tires and giving it my paint scheme, is to put one of their deep guides in it. And certainly on my home track, it's every bit as good as any of my other NSR GT3s, possibly a little better than some. It feels a little more responsive than my AMG. Most of the cars that I have for my home track are Sidewinder with the 25K motor. The cars that I run at Electric Dreams generally are angle winders with the Shark 21. But it feels as good. It probably feels a little bit better than the McLaren on my track. And to me, it looks fantastic on the track because it just has the right proportions. They've done a really nice job of the proportions of the car in terms of the stance and how it looks and how it moves. So I haven't run it in a race anywhere yet, and I don't know of anybody that has, but that's what it looks like.
Yeah, I think that's interesting because I think when the McLaren came out, the GT3 crowd, the proxy crowd was thinking that was going to be a good car, but it hasn't really panned out. And some of the talk is the Corvette tends to lean more towards the almost the what's the car that's banned everywhere? The
Mosler.
The Mosler.
The Mosler, yeah. So they say the body's a little lighter, seems to work a little better.
Yeah, I don't know that it's as good as the Mosler, but then very few things are.
Right.
Because this is probably still 10 millimeter or 5 millimeters higher than a Mosler in the middle, no doubt. And one of the things that I would like to see from NSR at some point is some pods with an offset in them, because the car really sits high at the rear if it's on full-size tires, and even the full-size tires don't really fit the wheel arch as well. They're a little small. So I would love to drop the back end of the car, another millimeter maybe, or half a millimeter at least.
NSR instead of offering motor pods, I think they offer offset bushings at 0.2 millimeter increments, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, that they do, but whether do they fit in these cars, I'm not sure.
Yes, they do.
Okay. I shall try some.
Their preferred method. Change your bushes.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I've done with my NSRs. I run the offset bushings and then put a aluminum tube between the bushings and then glue it all together.
Just allows you to run correct size wheels that fill the arches, doesn't it?
What I'm interested to know with the NSR C8 is how does it compare to because I believe you have the TA71 C8 too. How do they compare in size?
Yeah, I do. Hold on, let me go get it.
Courtney, I've got it. While Dennis is going to get that, a friend of mine has done a C8 in a really nice livery.
Oh,
So
wow.
as far as performance goes, I'm not sure, but it looks really good in the Chaparral tribute livery.
Yeah, it does.
Amazing, Jim. How did you do it? You should do a tutorial on that.
I didn't do it. A friend of mine did it.
I'm just kidding.
There's a heck of a
Probably took
noise
forever.
outside my garage right now. I'm afraid the local garden maintenance are busy. So hold on. Let me mute myself just until it's all done, and we can come back to.
Okay, we'll let Jim do.
Gio, take some notes on that black and white livery.
Yeah.
I want to see you do that in your next one.
Challenge.
No, that Gio
Challenge.
could never do. Gio could never do that unless it's like a Skittles car that lights up like a Christmas tree. That's what Gio's gonna do next.
And the livery is individual Skittles decals.
With the chaperone, they have to have all the white lights. So
Still can't hear him.
Chaparral have something about lights. I don't know.
John, check your settings on your microphone. Something's going on.
There's a noise canceling or something that can be turned off. Or it's just physically not good anymore for some reason. Anywho, while we're waiting, Dennis, is the yard work done?
Pretty much.
Okay, go ahead.
All right, so here we go. There are the two cars. The one on the left is the Area 71 TA 71. The one on the right is the NSR. Pretty much this NSR is a little shorter. Wheelbase wise, the same thing, I think, just a little shorter. Oh, damn it.
Need one more hand, Dennis.
Yeah, and holding the camera in my teeth is not the best way to do it. But
yeah,
they're about the same. The NSR has a longer guide lead. You could probably see it there. It extends further. The TA71 has a bit more overhang at the rear, just a little, but it's not a lot of heavy part there. The difference, of course, is that on the TA71 that whole rear end is part of the body, whereas on the NSR, the diffuser is part of the chassis. Width-wise, not a lot of difference. The wing on the TA71 is bigger.
Wheel diameter looks quite different.
I don't know that they are, but let me check if I can get this somehow. I think it's just the effect of the different wheel insert. As I seem to remember, because don't forget that on the TA71, those are slotted wheels that I put on because that car doesn't come with wheels or anything like that. So it's a very different car. I haven't run them against each other, but it would be interesting to do.
The one that I built, the Area 71 Ferrari, was really, really good performance-wise.
Yeah, they are nice. Obviously a lot depends on what motor you're going to put in. I have a in mine, I think that's a 28K or 29K slotted motor in there, and it's a little bit much. I need to put a bit of weight in the car now. Other than that, not a lot of difference, just different detail here and there.
What's the weight difference, Dennis?
Let me go and find a scale and I'll tell you. Hold on.
I knew you would. Ask the gardener.
We should keep asking Dennis for obscure things. Just see how far we can go with it.
You did notice it wasn't me that asked for the weight this time.
Dennis, what's the wing speed velocity of a coconut laden swallow?
African or North American?
Yeah.
Or European, yeah.
Yeah, European swallow. All right, so let's have a look. See the the Corvette 70, the NSR 72.39, the TA71 72.66.
601.
So that's pretty much
It's the same.
the same. 0.3 of a gram, 0.25, quarter of a gram difference.
So which one's quicker then? I know you haven't run them against one another, but what do we think?
The over a lap, the NSR is probably better over in terms of just pure straight speed. The 28K motor that's in the TA71 will overpower the 25 that's in the NSR. So I think actually the NSR is probably an easier to drive car right now because I think the motor in the TA71 is a little too much. Anyway, Jona, is that what you wanted to know?
Yeah, I just wanted to see the scale comparison because that's a concern I've had with the C8 is that it's way out of scale. But it doesn't look as bad as I imagined.
Well, I put it this way: probably they're both way out of scale, but they're equally way out of scale.
No, I believe TA71 are quite close.
Yeah, true. It's probably, I mean, the TA71 is an earlier version as well, so maybe there's a couple of different.
No, they're both the C8 are. Which is the same GTE.
I've got the Scalextric one as well. Hold on.
There's a lot of fancy words wrapped around the launch of that C8 from NSR. They've described how they've taken a step forward according to their words, and I can't see anything that's different there.
It's all bullshit.
Yeah, I wasn't going to use that, but yeah, I think it might be.
So that's the Scalextric one. And now I've got my hands free, unfree. Sorry, guys, that's better. So there's the Scalextric car. Not a lot of difference, right?
No, it's much closer than I expected.
The roof looks lower on the NSR in that shot.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. The roof is lower on the NSR.
It's a bit modified, the NSR, but it doesn't look as bad as some of the pictures.
Okay, yeah. The actual body line detail on the TA71 and the Scalextric are very similar up front. The NSR, they've basically just interpreted it the way they wanted to, I guess. Otherwise, you know, the NSR has actual moldings for the air intakes on the side, whereas the other two are basically just painted on. The mirrors are different on all three cars. The wings are a little different. The Scalextric and the NSR wings are about similar size, I suppose, but the Scalextric one is higher, and of course it's an inline. You know, it's not anywhere near as good a performing of a car. But there they are. And then SCX used the same body as Scalextric and just put a different chassis underneath.
Yeah, with their pod and their different.
Yeah.
I think the new SCX cards are podless now. It's a straight flat chassis.
Yeah, I think that the Corvette was still a podded chassis. Hold on, we'll find out. I'll be back.
You got one of those too. Nice. Heck yeah.
I'll be back.
He lives that close to the store. He can just pop outside and.
See, I thought I was the only one in my workshop that I could grab whatever you guys wanted, but I'm not.
Right.
It's a Carrera CA.
Yeah, you got a Carrera out there, Dennis?
You are actually right,
It's
Mr. Greg.
complete weight is 116.
It's a podless chassis now. What are you laughing about? Every time I go away and I come back, everybody's laughing.
We were
You
laughing
did it
at
on
you.
purpose, Dennis.
You have everything, Dennis. You have everything.
No, I don't. I just have one of most things.
Where's the Carrera, Dennis?
In John's. There it is. Got you.
Does anything tell you something about what my relationship with Corvettes?
Oh boy.
Tell you what, when you see one on the street passing the other direction, it's very impressive.
Yeah.
John, your microphone's working.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's better. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, they
I know.
are. But I tell you something.
It's a feedback
Looking at
machine.
this, particularly at the NSR Corvette when it's on the track, and looking at a C8 when it's on the road, to my eye, personally, the NSR car looks better. It just
I agree with you totally. I noticed that too.
something in the way that they have interpreted the car has just corrected some little visual imbalances that worry me about the C8. And I just think they did a spectacular job. I think everybody's done a great job on the car. There's no two ways about it.
There's some cool new
maybe
liveries
it's
coming out too.
maybe it's because of the way that the wing on the back adjusts your perception of the balance of the car front to rear. Then maybe that has something to do with it. When you see them on the street, they don't have a big wing. They just have a this thing want to focus. They don't have a big wing. They just have this, all those little spoilers on the back, and maybe that upsets the balance somehow. But the back end of the car never looks quite right to me on the street. Anyhow, there you go, guys. C8s forever.
What else you got in the back pocket, Dennis?
What else have I got in the back pocket? Well, last week I didn't I show off a bunch of cars last week, or the week before maybe. Where I've been painting because I did the C8 and I did the slotted Audi R8 LMS, and I did the sideways M4 GT3.
I remember.
None of them have actually been run in any great anger yet. Just been too busy with other things. But yeah, so there you go. Enough of me now.
All right, enough of you.
Gio.
Yeah, I got Gio, but Jim had his hand up earlier. Did you?
Oh, yeah.
Oh no, it was showing that other that Chaparral Corvette.
Okay.
Got it.
All right, go ahead, Gio. What you got?
Yeah, before I do screen share, maybe I can share these as well. 124, talking about Corvette. This is the car.
Bring it
So this
closer
is
to
the
your
Carrera
chest or
one.
something so we can see it.
Yeah, you
Is
have
that with is that the Carrera body?
Yeah, Carrera body, but this also has scale auto chassis.
Oh, it's got a 124 chassis.
There you go.
Yeah,
Nice.
And how's it run?
I don't know.
Okay.
I just bought it.
It should be pretty good.
Yeah, it should be.
Yeah. I think it
Scale
should be
auto
okay.
chassis are nice.
Yeah, I agree. And this is the metal one. It's not the plastic one, which also ran pretty good. I've tried before. Anyway, so I think the last time I was on the show, I kind of went up here with the M4 from sideways, finishing up salvaging the painting basically job, making the car 3 grams heavier than it should be. So these are the decals, or while I'm putting the decals, as you can see, as complex a job as the one from the Chaparral. So these are halfway through. So these are decals from Slot Fabric from Allfola. They're not for this specific model. I think they are 124, then scaled down. So there is a bit of cutting and fitting that you have to do in order to make some of these stripes fit to the body. But overall, I think it's kind of it's manageable. I mean, nothing crazy. So you can see the different parts going on top, and the approach I use for putting decals, given that also Yona is here. So first of all, I don't kind of put the decals when I cut them from the carrier inside, I mean, deep in the water. I just put on top of a paper towel that is humid, so there is a bit of water on it, and then I just put the decals on top of that, let them, the film or the carrier actually absorb the water, and then after, I don't know, maybe 20 seconds, they can slide already. So then before applying them on the body, I use a mark fit over here. So I put a bit of mark fit on the body where the position the decals should go, and then I slide the decals on top of it, so that I use for moving it. And then I use a hard dryer for kind of dry up the decals. I go straight on it. So without, if you don't put too much mark fit or liquid around, then basically the decals will not move. You go with the hard dry on top of it. So basically will make a bit softer, also dried up quickly, let's say. So you have to be careful. And in this way, then you can touch the model. I mean, you can move around and the decals will not kind of disappears on your finger or whatever. So you can make the making, not only, I mean, will make the decals kind of stick better to the body and the different, parts or angles or whatever. But also, you can work pretty quickly with the body without waiting for one side to dry up and whatnot. Anyway, so the rear part, as you can see, it's kind of not the best. There are a lot of angles through the bumper and upper hood here. So there is kind of, I had to kind of soften up multiple times before kind of dried up properly. So yeah, these are kind of the, what's called it, the details of the exhaust terminal there, and then cover up with the grill, like in the, at least in some of the picture that I've seen of the real car, which makes all the work that I did for detailing it going away. But that's what it is. So this is the interior. Try to replicate the helmet, crash helmet from Valentino Rossi, basically. And as you can see here, also a couple of kind of try to recreate some of the display of the car. I have some details more later on that. And then this is a better picture of the car testing the lights. So there are 22 LEDs in total on the car.
Wow.
The main lights, I think it was pretty easy to kind of put the LEDs. I use the elements that are already there to kind of put LEDs, but the fog lights was a pain in the butt. Still, because there are kind of support behind it that kind of is simulating the actual fog lights of the car, which makes it's very shallow, so makes putting the decals there not putting LEDs not that easy. In the next model, I think I'm going to do something a bit different for that. And then the blue lights over here just kind of was myself that I want to put something extra. I mean, it's not like in the real car. And the rear, so also this one I will show it more again. This is the real lights were not kind of as simple as they look like, but I will show later on for the other, for that I'm preparing how I did. And then in the center here, there is this, I don't know, kind of emerging flashing lights that comes on and off. Yeah, so looks pretty good. So these are, I don't care. So the body weight is 22 grams, which is 3 grams more than it should be. But I believe that's all paint and the extra paint. So one thing to notice is that if you're using like the side suspension pod, you need to trim the vents, the side vents of the car, because otherwise they will touch the pod side, the side suspension part of the pod. So be aware of that in case you are building this car as I did. The wire is kind of a bit messy here, but yeah, that's kind of normal this stage. Then I try to kind of tie them up. So this is a picture that will give an orgasm to Wayne. So front and back weight of the car, weight distribution of the car. So body wise, I end up with almost a 50-50, as you can see. The total body of the weight of the car chassis is 85 or and a half grams. And the back to forth, I think it's what? So 85 times 3. So I think it's like 37, 70 distribution, or something like that. Or 40-60 distribution back forth.
Very close to 40-60.
Yeah. So this is the cheap installation. So I tried something stupid and different this time. So I took the standard plastic wheels from Sideways, and I put a bunch of holes in it to make it a bit lighter. And then also took the tires that the car come with, and split it off and put on each side. They glue and then through it and give a bit of an angle there in order to make the front wheel lighter. This is not a disc compatible because it's the front wheel are too narrow. But it's kind of an idea that I got from Wayne, kind of a bad implementation of some of his ideas, let's say. What else? I mean, installing, I think it's pretty straightforward. And there's some picture with the car put together with almost all the details on. A bunch of picture on the track. I'm going quick on this one because I want to go to the end of it. So here with some antennas a bit more darker and some other details.
Have you got a cockpit LED in there, the green one?
So I put
You put the rope light in?
Hey?
Did you put the rope LED in, the cob, the linear cobs that you use?
Yeah, so on the side here.
That's why there's a lot of that in there, a lot of light in there.
Yeah, so there are, inside the cockpit, there are, I think, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different lights.
Goodness.
Yeah, but not you. I mean, apart from the top ones, yeah, these are big ones because they are striped, the flexible strips, let's say. The other one is pretty. So, okay, so this is something stupid that I want to do for kind of a while. So this should be the cockpit view of the rear car. So you have like the main screen that it's kind of dashboard with whatever, I mean, gear, temperature, pressure, position, whatnot. And then on the side you have the rear view camera that actually is more than just a camera. There's a rather extra information to tell you if you're being lapped, which car is on your category or not. So I want to recreate something like that. So the car or the model comes with small plastic details that represent the dashboard, but does not have anything from the rear view camera. So what I did a vacuum form of the main dashboard because of these elements you can kind of remove from the cockpit of the car. So this is what it looks like. It's not the best, but so then I put inside an LEDs, and one of those flat LEDs, so the light should come from underneath it, and then put something on the back. So these kind of gets then trimmed out, and then these are how they look when kind of installed. So I have one that is the main one and the one that should represent the radar. So for the main one, so this is kind of the image that I found online. So I just print small and then put on top of it the other. But for the radar rear view mirror, so I took a picture of a couple of cars on the track. Then it looks like the car, then M4 is in front of these two. Then I put these kind of, they have these symbols representing cars that are overtaking or they're possible contenders. And then then print it and in a kind of downsize it and try to install in the cockpit. So the end result was those kind of small pictures that you saw at the beginning, like almost the beginning of this show, in the cockpit of the car. But the printer that I use does not have a very good resolution, so they're very difficult to see actually. But I know what they are, so now you know as well. Anyway, so I run the car and it goes like shit. So I can present basically later on some results of how it run. I think it needs a bit of weight in front of the guide because so I'm running, given that it's a weight, I'm running this with the 1.25, I think, pod from Slotted. So the offset is a bigger than normal I would use, but it's so I think that the motor is maybe a lot of power and kind of is lifting a bit of the front. So especially in one of the main corner where you lose where you make your lose or destroy your lap, the car tends to kind of go straight. But overall, it's a freaking tank. So we had like a couple of incidents where we had like a bunch of 4 cars basically kind of come off. So both lanes all occupied. Car went through them like it was a snowplower. So it's a freaking tank. It's heavy, yeah. Anyway, that's me for now.
Nice work.
With the 22.
It's a nice car.
What, Greg? What did you say?
I said 22 LEDs. Oh my goodness. Oh, but always impressive.
Yeah, I mean, it's not, to be honest with you. I mean, yeah.
It's a labor of love. You love doing it.
Gio, I think your glasses have gotten thicker since I saw you last.
Yeah, where's the extra weight, Gio? If you took 4 LEDs out, that'd probably be your 2 grams.
Yeah, geez, man, which kind of LEDs you use down there?
Yeah.
No, true.
Great lights. They're light.
So the fact that I kind of try to reduce the weight of the body is mainly because I can install more LEDs. But this case it didn't work out because I screw up with the paint job. So the other one, so I'm preparing the other livery that Valentino Rossi raced in Bathurst, so the white one, with the stripes from the BMW colors. And that one is a simple, just a white and a bit of black. And that one is gonna be pretty light as a body. I'm not. So I complete the decals on that one. I just need to put the LEDs, and so I use these as a test car as a mule for testing some of those installation for the LEDs, because it was not that straightforward. So.
Is it a tall car, Gio?
It is, yeah. You can see. I mean, it doesn't look that big, but freaking hell, when you put it next to the 720 or even like a Lexus, for instance,
yeah,
it's a tall car. So it's a big car. It's on par with the Conti, for instance, Continental with the Bentley.
Yeah, Bentley, yeah,
and
yeah.
That's a freaking big wing as well. That is it's pretty huge as well. So.
Yeah, that's
But
what
it's
I
not
found as well.
I like the job that the sideways did with that car. And now the next work jobs on the pipeline is the slotted R8 and the new Nissan GTR. So I don't know if you guys know, but they released also white kit of the new reworked chassis and body. So in the previous release, the body of the GTR was sitting on top of the chassis on the side, and now basically instead the body goes around the chassis, so it's sitting a bit lower. It should be a bit more performant this car. So I have to see.
Just masked it, Gio. You've got the rear weight bias of 64.45%.
Say again.
The car has a rearward weight bias of 64.47%.
Yeah.
Which is typical, I think.
Yes, I mean, consider also that there's a big trunk, right? It's not like a normal coupe that has a small trunk. I think it's pretty good.
That's right. It's a big old car. Plenty of it in the back.
Yeah.
64.5, rounded up. And yeah, if it deslots, then give it some nose weight, perhaps.
Yeah.
And
I mean, I
really
tested
close,
the
aren't you?
ball by myself. I mean, it was performing okay, but yeah, during a
You're at
race.
85.6 grams. I think the regulations for Disco are 85, are they not?
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah.
Well, that's for Euro Series.
Yeah, that's for GT3, not WEC.
No, but there's two GT3s. There's Euro Series and Inter Series.
Oh gosh, yes. Yeah. Never mind. Yes, there is.
And the Inter Series is 87 or 88 with 21 gram bodies, I believe.
22.
22, okay.
I think that's why Euro's at 22.
This car would be right at the limit for Inter Series.
Yeah, but it's kind of it's still having too much.
Yeah,
can be done better.
I don't think it's meant to be a contender.
No. So I'm not building them for anything specific. I mean, except for my club here, which basically we're a little more closer to the Disca GT3. So with the 90 grams. But yeah, so it's also like testing kind of in preparation maybe for a Suzuka race next year.
He likes to run his club very close to Disco regulations, and that's why he's using those weights and measures. And they don't have to be 100% on the button with the regulations, but he's basing all of his cars on that regulation set.
Yeah. And now I'm also paying more attention to the bias as well.
Yeah.
No. So I'm kind of before I wasn't doing it, but now I'm kind of paying more attention to the weight bias between front and back of weight distribution. Not crazy, but I mean, still kind of try to see how things are going and where I'm putting the chip. And
I should get some more parts very soon that will help me progress forwards.
Yeah, and when am I getting my parts?
They're in the packet. They're back in the packet right now, and I just need to wrap it and put it in the mailbox.
Okay.
I think that'll be away tomorrow.
Yeah.
But I wasn't going to tell you that just in case I failed to do it. But yeah, go.
Well, now you got to do it.
And do you want me to do? And you haven't done any visual mods to the body.
No.
We're still recording, by the way, huh?
Yep.
Yeah. No, I don't care. I'm not. No, just leave it alone. Don't put extra holes in the front.
Yeah, I didn't. That depends because the decals seem to have the lights as just decals. So if that's the case, I'm not gonna put holes in the front, but I will enlarge the front opening to make it more accurate, and I'll add a second canard.
Can I do another screen share, Greg?
Yeah.
I'm ambivalent to a second canard. I don't. If you want to put it there, that's fine. I don't care. If it knocks off, that's fine. It's a body shell with a job to do, and I'm afraid it can't afford for it to be broken, can we? So I don't want any additional holes. I don't want any more holes than necessary. I've left the front pretty much stock, as you know. There you go. Did you use which paint did you use?
The one that Tamar.
Yeah, TS31.
Yes.
Did a bit of research into that this week, and there is no single orange that is McLaren. They've used several. They've used them on the early one is the papaya one, on the M8s and things like that, the Can-Am cars, and that was closer to a yellow or going towards yellow. The latest
this
car,
one seems a bit too red, even for the car we're making.
But this is close to what the current McLaren 720 actually is. It's called Volcano Orange, not papaya at all, and it's close to red. It's on the redder end. It doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. It's a representation, not a replica.
Yeah, most of it. I mean, so for those of you that don't know, so we are preparing the car for 24 hours, and so we are basing the body. We are taking the body from the NSR 720, and the car that we are racing is the PAF, I think. So it is an Evo version of the car, which has it has a wider front grille, different openings for the fog lights, plus there is this central big fog lights here and double canard in front. So I've modified the body in order to accommodate for those changes. It has also a bit of the back different, but we didn't bother with that. So these are the end results of the car. I left these open or white, basically embedded, so that I can make some LEDs behind it to kind of shine through on the running number of the car. So these
have you put any black inside the body shell to highlight that white patch so that the light can't shine through the black?
No, I didn't.
Is that a good idea?
It's okay even if the car is all shiny, man. I mean, the more shyness we have, the better. But consider that all of this is gonna be covered with the dark decals, right?
Yeah.
So all these patches, there is a bit of white where the running number is gonna be. So anyway, so yeah, so basically these are on the back kind of made the exhaust pipe a bit they're pretty thick. So kind of make it thinner and also apply some of those kind of blue, clear blue, clear yellow kind of colors to kind of make it the burned metal.
Yeah.
You can see here a bit better. Yeah. Anyway, so it's kind of almost done with the painting. So yeah, I need to kind of finish kind of making details on these all over the front wheel, and then start putting the LEDs as crazy man. Yeah,
we'll discuss your choice of LEDs in due course. It's not likely I'll be able to replicate what you will do, but I have a couple of different LEDs here that I plan to try to use. But the front lights are giving me concern because the apertures for those are extremely small, aren't they?
Yes, and that's why the fog lights, they are going to play an important role. So I'm going to put there the brightest LEDs that I have.
Yeah. I even found myself searching online for LEDs with different viewing angles today. I wanted one for a cockpit light. There are regulations around that. You can only run a single one, and it has to be a 3mm maximum size. I'm presuming that's the bulb diameter that's intended there. But
well, it says 3mm diameter, so you could theoretically use one of these filament LEDs.
Yeah.
And that's going to be really bright.
I'd like the whole damn car to light up so that you see the whole. You know, I put 1 watt in there.
You should get a filament LED. That's going to be.
I don't think that's what's intended by the regulations. Although
but it's legal.
I'm not one for going by the intention. I'm one for going by the word. But at the end of the day, you end up having to comply with the intention, don't you? So I was looking for
that depends where you're racing.
How much of a stink you want to make about it.
Yeah. So I was looking at 180, trying to find it 180 degree, because the thing is that a lot of the light comes out through the windscreen and the side windows and doesn't come out through the roof, sort of thing. But we have a set of unique circumstances in that I think the driving position is quite elevated, and you won't be. I don't think you're going to be looking at the windows all that much. I think you're going to be looking at the top of the thing quite a lot, unless it's away in the distance, which it will be. But I think one way to make our car stand out from the others is to use those very low apertures for where the fogs are, and put something in there that's a very narrow beam, so that it will actually illuminate 2 stripes on the track. That was the thought I was having when I went to look. I was looking for something very, very wide for the cockpit and something very narrow, very pointy for the headlight, for the fog light. Needless to say, I ordered nothing in the end. I've still got time if it becomes, if it becomes relevant. I think I agree with you. The headlights are so tiny that you're not gonna pick them out. You're gonna have to use the fogs. I'm gonna have to put an LED in the fogs. So I'm gonna be at least at 8, probably 9, including the cockpit.
So you want me to cut holes in the front?
I would imagine that not having the LED to hand, you're probably better leaving that to me when I install the LEDs.
Yeah, but that's gonna, because it's just solid right now, so that's gonna mess up the paint job, and I don't want.
We're gonna race it for 24 hours. The paint jobs.
Yeah, but.
Yeah, but you don't want to have the car already fucked up before going to the race, right?
You see, I'm not the guy for your concours entry. I'm just not.
Yeah, but paint the thing yourself then.
I think Gio's body shell might sit on for concours.
Can we use a different body for concours and?
Yeah. Because remember that we're allowed a spare body, so the fact that we're doing one and Gio's doing the second one, they are the support for one another.
And Tamar's doing a third.
So we'll have plenty of them around us.
Yeah.
So I'm not too fussy if ours is the one that runs the race, and Gio's can stay nice, and if Tamar's is nice, that can stay nice.
Yeah.
It's a different purpose.
I'm guessing yours going to be at least the best biased front to rear.
I've actually I focused my bias on 2 things: front to rear and top to bottom.
Yeah,
there's a lot more material I could have taken away from it, and I haven't, because the third focus or primary focus beyond all of that is durability.
Yeah.
So I've left the front pretty much from the front arches forward. There's nothing come out of it. I showed you in some pictures earlier, didn't I? But the only bit, the black bit in the back, I've done some work on that, and I've done some work on a lot of work on the roof. I'm not saying
did you guys have some problems with lights last time you guys raced? Was it like the lights went out or something, or is that somebody else?
Yeah, we did have.
What do you guys got, like a battery backup or anything, or not? Or just hope for better soldering, or what?
No, the problem with the lights wasn't with the lights, it was with the body shell. the body shell broke, and that started tugging on all the wiring. In fact, it was the wiring that kept the body shell in one in two
we talk
pieces
about,
that were kind of connected.
Are we talking about the Porsche, the 963?
Yeah, that was the last problem we had with light.
So the main problem that we had was that the capacitor basically blew up. So, and I don't know if it was because we had like a bad motors at one point, or the one that I got, because I used my type of light kit that I use normally on my truck here, but I put a capacitor that I didn't have. I never done it before, so I have not tested this capacitor on the long run. So I don't know if it was just basically a bad capacitor, but all the lights work except for two on the side that got basically kind of the wires removed or snapped when Yona crashed in a car that was stopped in the middle of the track. There was that girl driving.
Just seeing what you guys are doing to address
that girl driving. Yeah.
Yeah, that was that. Yeah, I was a girl. I mean,
everybody knows who that is.
I don't know if it was a trans, but I think it was a girl, right? So.
Yeah.
So yeah, and
I now know exactly who you mean.
It was basically menace on the track. So Yona could not have done anything there. And so the front went completely on the, and plus, okay, the other, I think maybe a mistake there was me. I should have known that putting screws in such flimsy front end was gonna end in disaster. So what we're gonna address that, Jeremy. So this time I'm gonna use a light kit from Z Machine, actually two. So I'm going for that, and yeah, also to be compatible with the other chassis and stuff, because the stuff that I use will go straight into the chip to take power. Instead, the others are going to take power from the motor or from the front. So I'm going to make it compatible with the rest of the other builds.
That's
you
my
think
favorite
people would
part
like
of
to
listening
see
you
the light
guys
chip?
is the engineering and how you get over that 24-hour.
Do you think people would like to see my light chip? If you'd like, I'll take a picture of the light chip and I'll
You're
share
gonna
it.
go and show your light chip after Gio just showed his light kit? That's like like going after the Beatles. Hey, I got a few hits I'll play after you guys. Hang on.
No. What do you want for scale?
Jeremy's like Yoko Ono. He's stirring
I'll
the
start
pot.
screaming.
I've taken a picture, but it's no good because there's nothing in there for scale. So I'm taking a second one, and then I'm going to put my phone in the chat. Give me a couple of minutes.
The time is over. Yeah, wait.
We've got 5 minutes.
Less than that. No worries. I just need to.
No club corner. You want to see how fair the yesterday with the freaking race?
You got a couple minutes for Club Corner. We did that earlier before you came on, apparently.
Oh, okay. Sorry about that.
Hey, John, is John Weber still on? Because now that his microphone's working, he could have a couple minutes.
Microphone working? I cut his video because he was streaming some bizarre video. But he should still be able to speak.
Good night.
Yeah.
Not.
Would you have a
Oh, there you go. We're hoping that you could talk about whatever you wanted to talk about earlier when we couldn't hear you.
Okay. Yeah, we'll go with that. That's good. Let's see. Honey, it seems like John Kit understood me, but I don't understand others didn't. But that's the way it goes.
Me or raise the bro with John Alex.
Well, we're running down on live time, so we'll have all kinds of time afterwards to just.
Gio, his microphone has Tourette's. What are you gonna do?
Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't.
Yeah, no, sorry, but that.
You get that thing going, Wayne? There we go.
He disappeared, actually. I think he's dealing with this kid.
Oh, look, it's Wayne's brother.
What?
It's Wayne's brother. There's Wayne and Wayne Lander.
Talk about bizarre.
How bizarre. How bizarre.
See that, John? We could hear.
Oh, yeah. That is
Battery backup.
I think that's a capacitor.
That's the full chip. That's a full light kit, actually, not light chip.
But where's the size reference?
Yeah, that could be the size of, like, you know, his head. We don't know.
There we go. Yeah,
Okay.
It's a pretty compact, I have to say.
What does that chip do? Just like, are you just taking 12 volts into it and then down it, moving it down to something? Okay.
Yeah, and when you take the car off so when the car basically is gonna lose power, then the capacitor still has.
Yeah.
I mean, gives power to the.
I'll give you a few seconds.
Well, yeah.
A few minutes
I think-
usually.
It'll do a few minutes, will it? Okay.
Depending on the draw.
I think there is some kind of limitation, limits, like you have to have at least, I don't know, 30 seconds.
No. The regulations say 15 seconds. The lights must stay on for 15 seconds. So a marshal's got time to find the car. But I've spoken to the manufacturer of this chip, and there isn't a smaller capacitor than this. Otherwise, it would be a smaller board, smaller unit. And that's a very simple setup that's just got 4 ground pads on the far right, and the far 2 pads that you can see slightly tucked on the capacitor there are for front lights, and the ones nearer to us are for rear lights. And it's just a 4 lights chip. But I'm intending to install 2 of these in the car, one on the right side, one on the left side, and that's for redundancy. So that if we
I like that idea. That's a good idea.
If we have a light kit failure in one side of the car, we will lose one headlight, one tail light, and we can continue to drive the car around the track because we will have the opposites still functional.
Does it say 5.5 volts on there, or does it say 12.5? I can't read that.
Where? I can see
in the front 5.5, and then.
Oh yes, I can see what you're looking at. It's clearer in the photo than it is in real life. So let's have a look.
There.
Yep, 5.5 volts.
5.5 volts. Okay. So
I don't know what it is. This is the closest I've ever looked at it. Over there on the right, it says GND for ground.
Yeah.
And on the underside, it's got front and rear as well.
What is 70 Celsius in Fahrenheit? I don't know.
That's operating temperature.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like, I wonder if, could you guys have, is this the same one you used last time or not? Or is this a different one?
No, this is not the one that Geo uses, I think.
I'd be amazed if it exceeded 70 degrees Celsius.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's probably not where it failed. Yeah.
Hey Google, convert 70 Celsius to Fahrenheit.
Oh my God, it's like
150.
150 something. Yeah, it's crazy.
100.
Yeah, it's 148. It should be fine.
158 apparently.
Fahrenheit.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
How much?
Where is that? It converts to 158F 70C. It's very
fine.
hot.
You're not gonna.
Yeah, it seems
go
like a
158.
temperature that you get in Texas.
Yeah, it's like Texas.
That's just the temperature that it'll continue to operate properly within. You know, if it.
But there's one in my McLaren where it's going to go.
Nice.
And there's its wiring diagram.
So how long will the LEDs continue to be lit after the car comes off? Do you know?
It depends on how many LEDs are on there, but in my experience, one of these will keep them lit for 3 minutes at least.
Oh yeah, if not more.
So one thing that it kind of confused me is what does it mean with the individual front, individual?
Why do you need multiple?
Go back a picture.
For the diagram, right?
Yeah. Go back to that
Yeah,
diagram
yeah.
there.
That's kind of a
Interconnected.
bit confused. Yeah, interconnected. Yeah, as well. I mean,
Interconnected is all the grounds.
Yeah.
yeah, okay, but if you have only two pans, only two pads, and I'm gonna put like 36 LEDs, you have to interconnect for sure.
Of course, of course. It's meant to be simple and easy for people like me.
But it seems also like that you have to go across, because for the
No,
top,
what you've got there, you've just got places to put 4 wires. You can solder them on the top. You can solder they're through holes, so you can solder them on the back if you want to. I'll be using them on the top. This on the capacitor side.
No. So
interconnected is just they're all the same ground, right?
Yes.
That's all it is. I don't know why it's got individual front and rear though. That's the weird part.
Yeah.
It would be positive any way you go.
There's the capacitor's got surface mount resistors underneath it, if I'm not mistaken, and there'll be a resistor for a front light and another one for a rear light, or sorry, one for each front light, basically giving 3.2 volts for each light through its own resistor, and then there'll be another pair, one for each rear light. We've successfully run 6 LEDs off the fronts on this chip.
Does it do brake lights?
Who's the manufacturer?
Johnny's workshop.
Where's Johnny located?
UK.
South coast of the UK.
He's a French.
He's a French gentleman that lives on the south coast of the UK. And this product is now discontinued. I met him at Slot Festival, specifically after a conversation to collect a few of these from him. It's no longer on his website, and it's no longer on eBay, which is the main channel through which he sold it in the past, where I've ordered it in the past, indeed. But he's currently working on a new board that uses the ribbon cable from a C chip. The slotted, what's the word I'm looking for? Parameters, the right connections. He's been in touch with Maurizio, and he knows exactly how the on-off switch for the SCP can function on his new light chip. You notice this one did say analog light board on the instruction. Well, it did have a digital light board, and that came with, it looked very, in fact, it looked identical to me, but it came with a JST connector that would plug into the B2 chip. But he can't do the same thing with the C chip because it's got the ribbon cable. And now he's got the pinouts, shall we call it, for the C chip. He's in the process of creating a new digital light board, which will have the little the ribbon cable flip up connector on there.
Yeah, Dr. C did a breakout board for that connector.
Yeah, and Gio's got them too. Is that right? Yeah, you've got some, haven't you?
Yeah,
homemade ones?
Yeah, that's what we run on the 963.
Yeah, I thought it was.
All right, we're going to end the live stream on that note, but keep chatting as usual. So everybody